Okay, you guys, what is up? The King of Lightning is here today to do Toriko, Toriko-san, Toriko-san, Toriko, Chapter 253 review. Now, okay, alright. This week's chapter of Toriko, I have a lot of stuff to talk about. I do. This review may be longer than usual, or maybe shorter than usual, depending on how I do it. So, you know what? Yeah, no summary, because you guys have probably already read it by now. So, let me say this, alright? The chapter has its ups and downs, that's for sure. And it's unfortunate because I was hoping that the flashback so far has been straight up all ups. It's been like, yeah, and then now we have like a straight up heartbeat, like dun 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 dun, because there was just too many, in my personal opinion, a lot of fluctuations in what I expected and what should have happened and what could have happened. So, should have and could have are the same thing, so I don't know why I just said that. But either way, we move on. First things first, let me back up to the end of the chapter. We have the scene where Midora and Ichiru, they're about to go into combat, and it appears that it's been skipped over. I mean, that's the way it looks. In fact, it looks like the flashback has ended on this week's chapter, Toriko. But they leave on a cliffhanger, where all the years Midora spent pouring cure water on the grave of Froze, apparently that's caused something. And the ground where he's poured the water over the grave has started to move. So my initial assumption is this, okay? And hear me out, because I'm not a guy that is, on this spiritual mumbo jumbo, but here's what I'm thinking, alright? There's the legend of the Demon King, right? And the Demon King, he son straight up, and that's the legend. Now, of course, I'll probably guarantee that that's true because it's Mitsutoshi. The legends are probably real. So there probably is a Demon King that swallowed his son for a period of time. We don't know how long exactly. Either way, let's assume that because there's a Demon King, there's a Demon World or another world, an afterlife. So let's just say that Froze, she died, right? And then after all this time of pouring cure water on her grave, she returns from the dead. And the reason why I mentioned the whole Demon World, Netherworld stuff is because when you take a look at her former gourmet cell mode, she called it God Cooking, and she looked like some kind of goddess. Her hair extended, it got long, it became, long, flowing, twinkling, that kind of stuff. And when you look at fake Froze's gourmet cell transformation, she looks like a demon. And she does. She looks like a monster demon. So, and when you take a look at the actual legend, according to the legend that Setsuno said like a while back, and according to what we see in the chapter itself, she died in her gourmet cell mode. Now, when we see her body as Midora's holding it, we don't see those long flowing locks. But what we do know is that she died from the cutting board, and she was in her gourmet cell mode at that point in time. And we do know that the cure water has this unique effect on gourmet cells. So maybe, because of this reason, she died as a god or a goddess and returned as a devil, a demon. Which is why she has such a drastic change. I mean, that's the only vague, maybe possible explanation I have for the character Fake Frozen. Because, I mean, again, I just don't know. I don't know. She could be an alien. I don't know. No idea. It's just that I'm throwing stuff out there. I'm throwing it out there. See how you guys can react to that. See how you guys may interpret that. Because if it's true that there's a Demon King, then there has to be a Demon World. So, again, I don't know. But we'll see. But obviously that bulge has something to do with Froze. Because otherwise, the cure water, being there and from the grave, then obviously, in my personal opinion, it's Froze related. That's very obvious. So that's why I see it. Give me your thoughts on that, because that one I think is that's way out there. That's like whoa, way. But give me your thoughts on that. So next thing. All right. Blue Nitro. They skipped over like the Blue Nitro. And here's the thing, alright? When it comes to their appearance, at least show me that. At least what they look like. I mean, because we know that they're like, we see them and like they're just silhouettes walking with a Kasia and Froze. And we never see them again. But my thing about it is that Mitsutoshi hyped them up exponentially. It was like, yeah, they're the Blue Nitro. No one beats them. They're like the Undertaker in WrestleMania. No one beats them. Power Driver, yeah. He's back from the dead. Power Driver, yeah. Kane, 1, 2, no. Power Driver, yeah. Like straight up. Like no one beats them. And he does nothing with that. I was like, oh, frick. Because, I mean, at least something. Anything would have been fine. Like, the way they look, how they, if they can speak telepathically or an actual human tongue. I mean, obviously, what I wanted to know the most was their ties to God, if they're actually aliens or not. Why are the Blue Nitro superior to than the Red Nitro or all the other types of Nitro? I want to know a whole host of stuff. But no, it's like the Blue Nitro. No one beats them. And then we leave in the sunset. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, oh, come on. So, that to me could have been something. Just something, anything. I would like to see something. Seriously, I really would have. But we move on. One of the things that and the last part that I didn't like. Well, because I can't say that, okay. One other thing that I didn't like. Because the first part I mentioned about the whole thing about the fake Froze, that to me, I actually find very intriguing. The part about the Blue Nitro I don't like. Another part that I didn't like was how the whole fight between Ichiryu and Midora in the past, it appears that they've also glazed over that. And the only reason why I don't like it is because of the fact that when Ichiryu was talking to Midora at the beginning of their real-time flashback fight, because right now we're on some Inception mode. And we are in a flashback within a flashback. So, DiCaprio over here. Basically, in that real-time flashback, Ichiryu told Midora, like, or at least he was hinting in their conversations, that when they first fought was when he started using chopsticks. So that would imply that he had another power aside from chopsticks. Which would imply that a character can somehow, in some way, change their entire combat scheme. Now, that's a stretch, but that's the way he was, in my personal opinion, hinting at. But we don't know now, because the fight's been completely glazed over. And granted, we do know that Midora loses that fight, and Ichiryu didn't kill him. We do know that. And that, of course, leads to the Bushikyu guy and all that stuff. It's just that I would have liked to see something from that too. So I would have liked to see something from the past up between Ichiryu and Midora, and something from the bout, or something with the Blue Nitro. So something, but we got almost nothing. So those to me, I think, are two negatives that I just can't really overlook. I just can't. But and also one other thing that, I mean, right here I'm nitpicking, I really am. But after God is given, we don't know where Kasia goes. Like, Kasia disappears from, like, history books. Seriously, he just vanishes. We don't know if he died or not. No idea. And basically, the world is given God. And then the world's at peace. And to me, and even though we saw it in the first chapter of Toriko, I would like to see something related to that as well. Seeing something to do with people getting God, eating God, and then negotiating and that kind of stuff as well. That to me, I'd like to see as well. But again, we've seen something similar to that in the first episode and the first chapter of Toriko. So I can't really knock that. It's just me nitpicking, to be honest. But things that I did like about the chapter. First of all, the whole thing about Midora, because first of all, he was the one who led to Froze's death. That's fact. Had he had actually done nothing, she would have lived. She would have lived. Everything would have been A-okay. But no. He, as Zebra said, got cocky. Well, no. He got emotional. Because when he's a kid, he's a very emotional dude. And that's because of the fact that all his life, he's never been shown emotions up until the point in time of meeting Froze. So, and Frozen was like a mother to him. She was the one who's, in a way, gave him life. So, obviously, there's a strong bond there. And he has to go, he goes and finds some pure water. And apparently, he runs into one of the 8 kings of the gourmet world. And it's the dragon with the one tooth. The one that the blade for Komatsu's knife is made out of. The tooth itself. It's the King Deiros. I think it's Deiros. Yeah, Deiros. And so just knowing that guy, that species is the king of the dragons. That's hot. That's nice. Yo. And like the thing about it is that when you look at the Deiros king species dragon, they don't look like ridiculously vicious. Like they really, I mean, like they have like several tongues. They have that one tooth, and their jaws are shaped weird, so like their one tooth comes down over their flesh. But it's just that they don't look that menacing. I'll be very honest. And I'm assuming that the Emperor Crows are also a part of the king species. They also don't look menacing. They just don't. The king crows. But when you look at the gourmet world, because we've seen in the Four Beast inner flashback where it remembers fighting against the king, the Emperor Crow, the Mother Snake, and the Battle Wolf. The Mother Snake and the Battle Wolf, they look disgustingly vicious. Like, yeah, and it's like, whoa. The Mother Snake looks, oh, good. Wow, you just want to run. You want to run so far away. But the Deiros dragon, I mean, I know it's beastly. We all know, right? All right, Gourmet Pyramid, Komatsu, knife, image of the dragon behind them. Creatures like, oh shit, they form and everything. They're gone. It's just that, to me, it doesn't look nearly as menacing as some of the other king bee species. But we move on. Because, I mean, right now we only know 4. Well, we can assume that the 3 are Emperor Crow, Battle Wolf, and Mother Snake. The 4th one we know for sure is that one. Battle Wolf is duh. Battle Wolf is obviously duh. But, okay, so we move on. We see the transition. And this, to me, I thought was actually very ironic. Where Midora, in a time of war and chaos, he is at peace. Because he has Frozen. But when the world's at peace, because everyone has, well, at least a majority of the world leaders have consumed God at that point in time. He is in turmoil. The darkness looms over him. As if like the solar eclipse never ended for him. And there's actually a very good silhouette where we see his upper body, his face, his neck, his shoulders, and they're all black. His eyes are glowing and his scars are glowing. And his eyes look dead. And he's like, you bastards. Like, and then he just hates the world now because the world is at peace while he himself is in complete and utter shambles. So that to me I thought was actually very nice, very well played. And again, he was the one who led to Frozen's death. Had he had done nothing, everything would have been fine. But no. Okay, so I mean that's pretty much it. To be honest. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much. I mean, oh yeah, and of course the gourmet, the solar eclipse. It was like 1 month, or at least because I think it's like 1 month in a time frame sense. But the thing about it is that like after that, like Kasia, he goes on a journey, right? And then like the eclipse occurs, and then it's like 1 month, and it's like we don't know what happens after that, but like we do know like the world chilled over. Apparently, the world chilled over because the sun's being blocked out. And then the rest of the guys, they had food rations for a majority of the populace of like the cities, I guess. I don't know exactly. But either way, that was cool too, but it wasn't highlighted as much as it should have been. The solar eclipse. Because the solar eclipse itself is a mystery. Like, what blocks out the sun is a damn good question. That's a really good question. The space guys should know. The space guys should know full well what blocks out the sun. Which is also one of the reasons why I'm so intrigued about the space guys, because they should know. They should damn well know. If in fact there is a demon king, that damn. So But we'll see. We'll see. But the chapter overall, I thought it was an okay plus chapter. It wasn't like fantastic or like monumental. I mean, we knew that Froze died, and some things could have been highlighted a lot better, especially the Blue Nitro. But then again, we're gonna see what happens later on in the story, so I'm not that worried about it at all. I mean, from the way they look, we know that they're just Nitro, only they're blue. But the other stuff about Pear and about the talking and their connection with God and space, I mean, that stuff we all want to know. In fact, when we see one of the silhouettes of the Blue Nitro, one Nitro has, like, it looks like they have an armor on. And it looks like straight up Saiyan armor, like old school Nappa, Vegeta, Raditz armor. And I'm thinking, oh, dude, please show me these guys. Please, man. The Blue Nitro. No one can beat them. They're the Undertaker on WrestleMania. Yeah. Just show me. Show me. Fuck. Alright, but I'm done, alright? The chapter, once again, is overall okay. And I'm signing out. Peace. Have a nice day. Rate, comment, subscribe. One last thing before I go. The whole thing about Midora, when he was pouring over the cure water, and how his stomach was still growling, that to me, it was also very good. Because it was like, here's Froze, she's dead, you're still alive. And even though this is this concept can be applied to the real world, it's magnified in Toriko. The whole concept of to eat is to live. And how it's reminding himself that, hey, Froze is dead. And you are alive. Let's go to Mickey D's, call it day. So, that to me was also pretty good. Because it deepened the psychological scars. Okay, now I'm done. King Lightning, peace. Have a nice day. Rate, comment, subscribe.